welcome back to Inka, and welcome back to another industry interview. Today with us, we have a very special person.
Hi, everyone. I'm Joyce Gilliard. I am a department head, yes, stylist in the TV and film industry.
Thank you so much for being here with us, Joy. We're really excited to have you. We were commenting earlier how we've been doing interviews for about a year or so, but you're the very first in-person interview that we have, so it's very exciting. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that feels it to be the first one. So I am very honored to be here.
Yeah, and actually, maybe this is not the first one posted in this space, but this is the first recorded in our brand new studio. And it is a work in progress, but very happy.
I love all of it.
Thank you so much. And Joyce, if you can tell me just a little bit about yourself, how did you start in the hair department and just in the industry in general?
Well, we don't have all night, so I'm gonna try and condense it. But I started in the TV and film industry in 2000, and I want to say 9, 2009, really started in. And I started when I was living up north in New Jersey when I was the hairstylist slash barber for Run's House. I'm not sure if everybody remember Run's House, but it was a reality TV show. And how I even got into the TV and film industry was I used to be a salon consultant in Manhattan. And as a salon consultant, I had all these shops that I would go to, that offer classes, do haircuts, sell products, all the things. And this one particular day, I was walking on the streets of Manhattan and my salon called me and was like, "Hey, Joyce, can you come by tonight? Because, I want to get some products." Now, at the time, I was living in New Jersey and I had to catch the train back to Jersey. And I was like, dang, if I go to the salon, it's going to be really late when I get home. But something in the back of my mind was like, you know what? Go ahead and just call your family, tell them you'll be home late. So that's what I did. So I got to the shop and the salon owner wasn't ready to see me at the time. So then I was like, okay, so I stepped outside and outside there was this Rolls Royce, nice Rolls Royce too. And a guy was sitting in the driver's side of the Rolls Royce. So, we say hi. And so I just started talking to him. So I was like, this is my first time seeing a Rolls Royce. I'm a personal. So, that just kind of broke the ice. And it was like he laughed or whatever. So then he asked me what I did for a living because he said he actually saw me walking a lot in the city. And I told him, I said, well, I'm a hairstylist and a salon consultant for da 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 da. He said, well, do you have any business cards? And I was like, yeah. He said, because Reverend Ren, his wife, she's always looking for a hairstylist. Now, if you know Run DMC and, from back in the day, it's like, oh, Reverend Ren. I'm like, okay, his wife. I was like, okay, cool. I gave him my business cards and fast forward a week or so later, their personal assistant contacted me and was like, hey, do you barber? Because, Reverend Ren's sons need their haircuts. So I was like, oh, yeah, I do barber. So fast forward, I went to their home, started cutting their hair. Then I started doing their daughter's hair, Angela and Vanessa. And then next thing you know, I was in, and that's when they started their reality show, Run's House. So that's how I became their stylist at that time. Ended up loving it, meeting all of their friends, doing everybody's hair. And then I had to move to South Carolina. When I moved to South Carolina, the TV series Army Wives from Lifetime was shooting there. And I started out there as an extra. And being an extra, I used to change my hair all the time. And the director them loved seeing me because I was a different person. That's my last person to cast. So I changed my hair all the time and I started talking to people, and then I finally let the producers know, hey, I do hair too. And so they were like, okay. And then I ended up getting my chance doing hair on a major TV series. And from that point on, I just blew.
Wow. I'm very first.
That from a conversation with a car. Wow. That's how I started in the business. I know I said a lot, but yeah, that's pretty much how I started in the business. And it's like one thing with another, then word of mouth. Then it was like, okay, my name is getting out there. And then I'll never forget, I got this call, a bunch of calls to work in Atlanta. Because at the time I was living in South Carolina. And after getting like 15 calls, this is when Atlanta was really booming. Like within 2 weeks' time, that's when I decided to relocate to Atlanta, and that's where I've been since.
Yeah, I feel like anytime you watch a movie, towards the end of the credits, you always see like Georgia right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Always.
It's another hot spot.
yeah. So yes, that's pretty much how I got into the TV and film industry. Awesome.
Now that you've been in the industry for a while, I tend to notice hair a little bit more now that we know that it's like a thing that people do work on. But before then, I didn't really know that it was something that like you really take into account
Yeah,
when
you have to pay attention
for
to it.
creating the character itself. So now that you've been in the industry, how do you go about creating the hair for a character?
So people don't realize all the behind the scenes works that happens when you're working in TV and film. When I'm creating a character, I first have to read the script and talk to the director to find out what it is that his vision is. You know, he tells me his vision. I read the script. I make my mental notes, make my notes. Because in the script, it might say, oh, Rebecca was a drug dealer or a drug addict. And so in my mind, I'm thinking somebody on drugs, their face might not look cool. Their hair might be messy because they're not really thinking about doing their hair. So you create characters based on what it is in the script. If they say something like, she's in the pool. So I have to make that note that her hair is going to be wet. So now I got to think about maybe a possible stud person whose hair has to be wet too. So then that means it might be a wig involved, and then the hair has to stay wet. So, then you think about recess. So it's a lot of breaking down the script and understanding the characters when you're doing hair. So it just doesn't come to you. You have to really do your homework. It can be filmed in the 1800s. So I have to do my research and look up 1800s hair. You see? So it's a lot. It's fun. It makes you think out the box too, because every film is different. You have the contemporary films where I need to stay current on what people are doing now. Then you have the period films where I have to literally research and see what they wore their hair like back in the day.
I'm very interested in one of your credits that I saw, Moana, the animated one. So can you tell me a little bit about how that relationship is?
So first, that was not the one.
Okay.
It's two Moanas.
Yeah.
The new one hasn't come out yet. And
Right,
it's
live action.
Yeah, that's the one
Okay.
I worked on. And the live action one, I came in as a day player, an additional hairstylist. And it was so fun. I'm not even gonna lie. I was there for maybe 4 weeks working. And what they did, they brought from Hawaii all of the actors from Hawaii to play in the movie. So this was their first time first time being in Atlanta, first of all. So that was like cool. Everybody's hair super, super long. Like down like to the pool.
Yeah, like even The Rock.
Yeah, yes. Everybody. So they made sure they cast. I want to say that it's Polynesians. They had to cast everyone just like that.
Okay.
And it was so fun just being able to create their looks so that it can stay intact to what Moana was. And it was fun. I'm not even gonna lie, just being able to work on that show, because even with the set deck, when you see how, we filmed like in some part of Georgia where set deck and the constructions built the entire set outside. And when I tell you it was beautiful, I felt like I was in the live action movie.
I can't wait to see it.
That's
This going everything. I promise you, everything.
And I know many people were like, I don't know if we really need it. And I was like, oh my God.
I mean, it is so, like, just the set was so freaking, like, mind-blowing. We're walking around like, because it was just an open field.
Yeah.
So I know it took them for a long time to build it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I love hearing about new releases, but we must talk about Naked Gun because it was such a hilarious film, and I bet it was such a fun project as well. I'd love to know what it was like working on that for you.
So Naked Gun, everybody wants to know, what was my experience on Naked Gun?
Oh my God.
I had many experiences on it, to be honest, but I'll tell all the great ones.
Yeah.
Yes. But it was amazing working with Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson. They were just amazing. Actually, all of the cast. Naked Gun was one of those movies where, you know, everybody was like, is it going to be like the original one? Is it going to be better? You know, it's like, are they going to stay true to what Naked Gun was? And I think they did a great job because the set was laughing the entire time.
Yeah.
With all the different gags. It was like constantly people are laughing. So it was a fun set to be on because of all of the different tricks, the gags and stuff. And just being able to see it come to pass and just being able to create some of the gags was even funner. Right. It really was. And I was so happy and excited to see it all on the big screen. Because, you know, when you're in it, you're like, I hope this is going to work. I hope it comes out really well. And it really did. Yeah, just the gags itself. And when they asked me to do it, and when I read the script and saw all the hair gags I had to do, I was like, oh, shoot, this is going to be fun, creatively. And, you know, different for me because now I get to design something based on what the script is saying. And it better work because this is freaking Naked Gun. Right. You know, and I'm happy. I'm happy with how it turned out.
Because of how fun it was it a bit difficult to get stuff done sometimes?
You know, for me, I was so focused.
Yeah.
You know, I was so focused because I wanted to make sure it was right. You know, it was done right. You know, I let all the rest of the crew laugh. I might have kiki-ka-ha a few times, but I was like focused on, okay, I got to make sure this looks good. I got to make sure that looks good. And there was a ton of cast.
Yeah.
A ton of cast coming through. So I had to make sure I had a look for each of those casts and get the look approved by the director.
Mm-hmm. So how many people did you have in your team for this movie?
So I had a core team. My core team was my key hairstylist, Nadia Saab, and I had Tamika Sauber, and I had Eric Matthews, who was the barber, and that was my core team. But you see, if you saw the movie, it was a lot of extras. So I had like a lot of different hairstylists that came in to help on those big days. So, I mean, it could have been maybe 15 at one time or so. Hairstylists.
And did you get to be like yourself up close with Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson?
Oh, God. So Liam Neeson, he had a personal hairstylist. Okay. His personal Kiara, she was just amazing. She was from Australia.
Oh, wow.
Yes, his personal hairstylist. And then Pamela Anderson. I pretty much hired my key, Nadia, to focus on her, give her all the attention, do her hair, because I had like 50, 60 cast members. And so what we did, I had Nadia do her natural hair. We had to like kind of get together to, you know, see what works, see what she likes, see what she didn't like. And it was a lot of trial and error with her hair and her. So it was actually down pat. And Nadia did such an amazing job doing her hair for Naked Gun. And then you had the wig scenes where she had to wear a wig. So I focused on making sure the wig was good, custom made wig for her. Made sure it was right, made sure that the producers liked the color. It was a whole process. And so I would maintain that wig look and put it on her and then send her off the set and have Nadia cover her while I was focusing on all the outwit cast, because you had like Cody, the wrestler, you had like C.H. Powder, you had like just a ton of cast moves to do.
Were any of those looks your favorite overall?
Let me see what my favorite look was. You know, I want to say my favorite looks, especially like on Pamela. I loved her when she was singing. I loved that look. And her hair was nice. You know, I loved that look on her. And I loved the wig on her too. And my favorite scene was when she yanked the wig off. She ain't wearing it anyway. So it's like, reel this crap out the way, you know. So, but those were especially for her. And who else did I think? You know, I liked, even though like Cody, he had to wear a wig, and you know the goal was to have him look like, I can't remember the actor's name. I can't remember the name, but anyway. He looked kind of cute in his wig. I liked it with it on him, but yeah. So it was kind of cool.
And the movie was obviously hilarious, but it stayed action-packed anyways, and you have experience with other action movies in the past as well. How do you approach an action movie that has, obviously, your hair gets messy, your hair, it's all over their face? How do you approach that?
So a lot of times production have all these, you know, the script has all these wonderful ideas, all the hair, you know, we're going to run around like zombies and do all this, but nobody thinks about the resets with the hair at all. They don't think about that part. So it's up to me to let production know, hey, now, this is going on, but we do have to reset the hair so that we can start over. But on this particular movie, they didn't really care about the resets. As far as with the big scenes with all of the zombies and all that stuff, people running around, it didn't really, because you couldn't tell because there was too much stuff happening.
Yeah.
You know, but if it's a smaller scene where, you know, like
the hair is right there.
Right there, then it's kind of like you better reset it. But with those scenes that had everybody running around, there wasn't that many resets in that.
Yeah.
So, because they wanted them to stay the certain way.
And I'm sure with this particular movie, for example, if there was some error in continuity, it will almost feel on purpose.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Especially in a comedy movie like that. But any drama movie you see, no, you can't have continuity mix-ups.
Yeah.
And we do take a lot of continuity pictures. I have tons of continuity pictures so that we can make sure we're at least close enough for ads. So
especially if it's like over different days.
Yes, for sure. We're always taking continuity photos to make sure that it matches. And this, because you could shoot one scene one day and then go back to that same scene in 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure we have great continuity photos for that.
Perfect. There are 2 more movies you've worked on, but I really want to ask you about. Okay. The first one is the first Hunger Games movie. We had never seen that movie until this year. Yeah. So I'd love to know what it was like on that.
So that is crazy. The first Hunger Games movie was one of the first big movies that I ever worked on. And it was so fun because, you know, I came in as one of the additional hairstylists and they wanted us to think outside the box. You know, it was kind of like a futuristic, kind of like a period type movie, but they didn't want period styled hair. They wanted it to be period, but different.
Make your sense.
Yeah, so it was like being able to design looks that was out the box was like the best job ever. Because as a hairstylist, you want to be able to create and design And that movie was like my first big movie, first of all, and the first big one that I got to do looks that was like out of this world. So that was so fun, for real. And even on that movie, the department head, she's from LA. Mom, she even used people out of the salons. They were able to work on that movie. Yeah, because it wasn't that many people around, and it was like, and they did step out the box. It was so fun working on Hunger Games. That is awesome.
What's the other one?
The other one is Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah.
That was
Such a good movie.
That was a good movie. And Daniel Kaluuya is amazing. And what's so crazy, I just worked with him the other day.
You did?
Yes, he's on my new movie. Yeah. And it's so funny story. So, we shot Judas and Black Messiah years ago. And so when I saw Daniel's name on the call sheet, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm working with Deco again. I was like, he will not remember who I am. It's been so many years. He works with so many people. So I was like, now I got to make him remember who I am. This is what I say. And as soon as he came in the trailer, here I make a trailer, he goes, yo, what's up? Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you again. Shock the crowd.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you remember me.
That's amazing.
He was like, yeah, I remember you. Who will forget you? So we talked about Judas, but that was a period piece. And, and another thing I like to do is build afros and stuff from nothing. And that was one of those movies that you got to creatively build afros so it can look more natural versus buying wigs.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So we had a little bit of both, and that was a fun movie to work on too.
We were talking about it earlier. How do you deal with that? The movie had a lot of hats, and you still have to style the hair under the hat. How do you do that?
You still have to style the hair regardless. It's funny because some people think the if they're wearing a hat, you don't need to do the hair, but that's not the case. Because sometimes the director will be like, okay, we don't want the hat in this.
Take it off.
So now the hat isn't on in the scene, but the hair is not the way it's supposed to be. So we always do the hair, whether they're wearing a hat or not. Even if the hat covers it completely, we still put them through the ring, the motion, and get their hair done.
Or if they take it off in the middle of the scene, I imagine it might be complicated because it might move around, but that's very interesting.
Yes, it is. We still do the hair. I had what happened. One of the cast members on something, they were wearing a bonnet, right? And they were sleeping. They were wearing a bonnet, and they thought, well, someone told them, well, since you're wearing a bonnet, you don't have to wear the wig, right? I was like, no, she still has to wear the wig because if the director say he don't want this bonnet on, what's gonna be under her wig? Hair box. So I'm telling you, I said, no, we're going to keep the wig on. And as soon as she got to set, the director was like, okay, let's take the bonnet off.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was like one of those situations. See, that's what I said. I told you.
You're going to cover all your bases.
Yes, exactly. So that was cool.
So as we're beginning to wind down the interview, I wanted to know what is a piece of advice you would give to someone that wants to do hair in the movie and TV industry?
My advice is, first, know that that's something you really want to do, first of all, because some people think they want to do hair, but really it's makeup, or vice versa. Know that that's something you really want to do and that you had a passion for it. Because the industry has a lot of ups and downs, and some, like right now we're in a down moment in our industry, but you can still do hair in the salons or do hair other places. I would say network, meet people. If this is something you want to do, especially in the TV and film industry, meet people, practice your craft. Always get better, stay up to date with the newest trends and techniques, and just go for it. Don't let anyone tell you no. And sometimes the no for that means a yes for this. So just stay true to what it is that you want to do and love your passion, practice your passion, and just keep persevering.
I love
Thank you so much. Now, here comes what could be the hardest question of all of the interview. What is your favorite movie and why?
And you're right, it is the hardest of the interview.
Those who realize.
And you're so right. It's the hardest question. Like, for real. Now, you know what? I should have prepared myself for that question because I get asked that all the time. But I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you my favorite. My favorite that I worked on is called Rise. It's a Disney movie, and it's about Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's an NBA basketball player. He's from Greece. And he grew up in Greece. And, it was one of those stories like a biopic type of story. To see his start to fame, stardom to fame or whatever. And it was a really good project to work on. From the production all the way down to the cast, I loved it. And we filmed in Greece for like 6 months.
Oh, that's amazing.
So that's what...
A little biased.
Hi, my feet, but it was all around. And we shot that during the time when COVID was like still COVID. But it was like we were getting at the end of it, kind of, sort of. But even in the midst of that, it was definitely one of the best experiences I've ever had. All around, you know what I mean? All around experience, just with the production, the cast, the crew, and then the location.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Joyce, you mentioned that you're working on a couple of things right now. So where can people follow you and what is next for you?
So people can follow me at Gilliard Pewley on Instagram. And what's next for me? Well, right now I'm working on a movie out here in LA. And I'll just say it's a Chris Rock movie. So that's going to be interesting. I just worked on the Madden movie about John Madden. Oh, yeah. Yes, that's going to be cool. I got my Madden jacket that my friend made for me. Yeah, Raiders, even though I'm a Steelers fan. But yeah, see Madden.
That's amazing.
But the Madden movie, which was fun to work on, that will be coming out. And then I worked on the Kendrick Lamar movie. It's coming out. We have Kendrick and the creators of South Park. So that's going to be coming out soon, too. I can't wait. And I'm about to start working on a new Scary Movie 6.
Ooh, where is that one?
That's going to be shooting in Atlanta. So as soon as I leave LA, when I wrap this one, I'm going today.
That is great. Oh, my God.
Thank you all for watching this podcast. I really enjoyed myself being here and just telling the behind the scenes of what goes on in the hair department. And until next time, and
Thank you so much for watching this episode.
You can follow us on all social media as &cut the podcast. And additionally, you can find us on YouTube and TikTok as That Film Couple for vlogs and extra content. You can also follow me on Instagram as sebi.mp4 and on Twitch as sebasparra1k.
And you can follow me at caitlin.mp4 on Instagram as well.
My name is Sebastian.
And my name is Caitlin.
And this is
And Cut.